it's the
American.
name
That's
of
not us.
a European god.
But what's crazy is, I'm from Suriname, right? And that's next to Brazil. But people, there's Maroons over there, and they all think they came from Africa, which I don't think so. I think blacks were already over there in Suriname
For sure.
before. Yeah.
For sure. One of the oldest human skeletons found in America come not too far from Brazil. Lucia is about 12,000-year-old Negro.
I thought it was from Africa.
I'm gonna beat your
But
butt.
that's Lucy. Come on, Lucy. That's
Oh, that's
Lucy.
Lucy.
That's
Okay.
Lucia.
Over in Brazil, that's where they brought the majority of the slaves from Africa. They put them in Brazil.
Yep.
To try to blend them in. To try to blend them in.
That's why they named it like that. They
Because
wanted
y'all gotta realize that most Africans ain't even African. See, I'm just giving y'all a little bit at a time. Y'all gotta catch up because Africans ain't even African. So, but that's a whole scenario.
We know that, but they still from that continent. They might be Nigerian, they might be Congo, but all the motherfuckers in Brazil, the majority of the slaves during the slave trade, the millions, the majority of them went to Brazil and Jamaica.
even in certain parts of Africa, a lot of those people from Arabia, from
East India, Asia.
and then you got what is it, Palestine and all that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know nobody lining up the doors to get in Africa, man.
That's
Not like
that's
they
all
lining up over
that
here.
But I just thought of something, right? Because Suriname became independent from because it was a colony of the Netherlands, right? But in 1975 they became independent. But before that, everybody was born European. Damn it. So I think I was born European too because I was born before 1975. Dang it.
Bang,
Am I?
bang.
Yeah.
But people will often confuse you with Jamaican, right?
No, they actually asked me if I'm from the Antilles.
Right.
Yeah.
But people will often confuse you with Jamaican, right?
No, they actually asked me if I'm from the Antilles or like Aruba or over here because there's lots of people of the Antilles over here. Yeah.
Hey, but in America, she'll be classified as white.
Hell no.
No,
I feel like
Hey,
if you,
yeah,
the same
because about that
motherfuckers that think,
Mm.
the motherfuckers that think that you black, there's Aboriginal black Europeans probably think that they were hunter gatherers too.
Bap, let me ask you a question. I heard you say that Africans ain't from Africa. Where they from?
Well, it's he really Africans ain't
on the race.
Hold on, Bap, please, Bap.
I said Africans ain't even African.
Yeah, where they from?
So when you say Africans as Americans,
No, that ain't what I'm saying, bro.
Where they from, Bap? I didn't hear you with other people talking.
It's deep, man. I gotta get into it. I gotta get y'all to understand there ain't no black European. You see what I'm saying?
No. Come back to Africa. You said Africans ain't from Africa.
Yeah, I said that's a whole nother side though, too. Right after that, you remember what I said.
Oh, okay. You got a secret. I'll let you have it.
No, ain't no secret. I've been talking about it several times. That's why I say you gotta catch up. Y'all still gotta catch up on the first shit.
I got a
You
question.
still think hunter gatherers again? People still think hunter-gatherers.
I'm done with you, man.
Yeah, you try to pivot.
I guess God protects babies and fools. Because if you couldn't hear me, it was a lot of shit y'all didn't hear. Y'all could only watch that. But I appreciate y'all for sticking around. Look at this crazy shit. My phone won't even stop. Hold on, we're gonna have to take care of that. Testing, testing, testing. It would be this one that is supposed to be on mute and is not. Testing. Okay. Testing, testing, testing. Let me see something. Guess we got to do it the hard way. See which one pops off. The one that isn't even supposed to have sound to it is the one that popped off. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. I want to say this one is supposed to be gone. Testing, 1, 2. Let's find out. Okay, that's the computer. So you guys should be able to hear me now. I apologize if you couldn't hear me before and you could only see the screen. Okay. Appreciate it, Reclassify, for letting me know that there was no sound. All right. And thank you. I couldn't see your whole comment, Zaki. I couldn't see your whole comment. All right. So hopefully you could see what you were looking at on the screen since you guys couldn't hear me. But I'm going to go back over and I just want to play the part for you now. Tell you a couple things that I did say in the interim that ain't going to be too bad for me right now. That you have an incognito screen and you have a non-incognito screen. Some people are blocked on my main channel, which is the black screen, and you can recognize who those people are on the white screen. If you couldn't hear me, some of the reasons that why people are blocked on my channel from me is to save my own mentality. I do that as a mature person. And also, as not to have things misconstrued a certain way, sometimes I'll block a person so that what I'm saying they won't see and be so apt to address it because of whatever. Because people like to double and triple team and bully and troll and all these things that they do on here. And one of those people who happened to get blocked was Dulcinea. Okay. And I know she's somebody that, you know, got some say in the community and it's not personal. It's just that one day when that stuff with Sharice was going on, it was too much shit going on and I didn't want what I said to be misconstrued. I refrained from saying anything that day in relationship to it, but then I saw something the next day and I said, let me go ahead and block Dulcinea so that there will be no crossfires going on. just because of something that I saw said. I said, let me just get that out my head, leave that alone. It is what it is. So when I responded to Dulcinea today, it was because I was on my backup channel and I could see what she had to say. Let me also put out here, because this is going to be, we at the finish line for this shit. Let me also say that Lady Spade is also blocked on my channel. And the reason why Lady Spade is blocked is because of something that happened years ago. And I don't remember what it was, but I said, let me get this out my head. I don't want to deal with this in my head, whatever was being said or whatever I assumed a connection was or a thought was. So, but Lady Spade is cool. I just blocked her, and a lot of people that I blocked, I can't even find the list to unblock them. If I wanted to, I couldn't. Okay. So those are some of the things. And some folks, I saw them siding a certain way, and I said, I ain't got time for that bullshit. I want to keep focused on what I need to do and what I'm looking at, trying to figure it out, not being bullied into anything, not being ridiculed, not having my personal business out here on social media for everybody to see, and other things being said about me in the midst of this trolling, ghetto, black exploitation bullshit, So Sister Jackie Brown's left nut. Okay. So those are a couple of things. Again, there was a couple places in here. If you couldn't hear what I was saying, there's a place in here where on the incognito tab, my comment is missing. And I question how did that comment disappear on an incognito tab? Okay, it should have been there. All right. Also, I wasn't saying anything against anyone in particular. Me and Beast was talking about Yiddish and language. I made some comments in relationship to what A1 has said up there. I didn't say anything against him. Okay. But somehow I was targeted to be blocked today. And you got it. Okay. Some of the people have been trying to tell me to move away from this community for a while. And y'all got it. Okay. I wish you well with the new people that you're trying to get and the platform that you're trying to build. Can y'all just stay the fuck away from me? That's my request. Okay. Stay the fuck away from me. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna be blocking some channels, and it is what it is. So what I'm gonna play here, what I'm gonna show here before I get off of here, is when I come on the panel. For those of you who didn't hear anything, what I said, I had a phone call, a business phone call that I had to take. I walked away from the screen and came back and found out that my shit, that I had been blocked. Okay. So this is at 4:12 and 49 seconds, and I believe the other one is at 4:12 and 49 seconds. Yes. They're both at the same spot. Okay. Let me move on up, because this is either a moderator, the channel holder, or Google and YouTube. Okay. And as I said earlier, if you guys remember back in the day, they talked about how people got real close to us. We like to say that they were white people. Okay. But it might not have been. Okay. That people got close to our communities and they capitalized off of infighting. And it's the same today. Okay. I'm not rocking with the Moorish information like I was when I first came into this, when it was new. I've thought through a lot of things. But there was something that Noble Drew Ali had said, or they say Noble Drew Ali had said, which was those who were with me 100 years ago or whenever it was back then, in his time back then, are with me today, and those who are not are not. And it's evident. It's the same shit. It's the same band of married men and women. Okay. Um, what I've said about the community, as far as thank you for the information. Um, that's what I'm here for, to try to figure it out, to put these things back together. But the drama, I'm on my Mary J. Blige. No more drama. Okay. If you didn't hear me earlier, I don't do beef and I don't do debates. Period. And there was a whole thing about we need to get the women up here to debate. I'm not doing none of that shit. Uh, are you mad? Okay. Do we have to go through a hazing? Do we have to be embarrassed? What is it in order for shit to happen? Okay. Anyway, let's get back into this. So here you see Belioso addressing me on my tab. He said, I didn't see who timed you out because somewhere in here I mentioned it. Now, where that is, I don't know, but I can tell you that in order for him to see me, to respond, I'm already on my backup channel, and I can't even see it over here. Okay, I can't even see my damn comment over here. But he said he didn't see who blocked me. All right. And he also says maybe it was by accident, Navi. So he's responding to me. So here you see him over here at 12:45. Maybe it was an accident. So we're at the exact same spot. All right. So I'm gonna let this play. Which one is the incognito? It's on the left. Pay attention. It should come up. All right. Just want y'all to know we at the same spot.
Was connected to. No one had to say state the obvious. The people who trying to state the disobvious is people who's going back rewriting this shit. You see what I'm saying? And then even when you get into some of them free people, right? Or what we call free men, right? A lot of them had white Slavic mothers. So a lot of them had to be a manumission. So that's another terminology to when I do research, what I was finding, right? A lot of the people that we saying is free, only saying that they were free because they was prior, they came through the vessel of a Slavic or a slave or what we call a Slavonian, a European slave, right? But had lineage from their father's side. But then their father had the manumission and freedom. And when he freed them, he had to free all the kids and even free the goddamn women for that to even be, for us to even recognize it. You understand what I'm saying? Or in some cases, free his children, right? And then the mother's status, if he didn't want to free the mother, then he could have left the mother as a Slavic because the Slavic was always a Slavic. There was no, only the Civil War is what changed their status and what made them be known as what we see them as today. But when I'm saying a lot of these classifications, even when you look on original census, right? Not the census that there's 3 census that I've seen. There's the census that's in the Library of Congress that has a lot of how do I want to say employment in people who was employed because a lot of the original census I seen was had employment statuses on it, right? But then they did the remix single and they created these new census, right? And then they started putting these colors on there, white and black, which that is more vague and ambiguous, right? Because we know that just because you're a white person don't literally mean that you got white skin. So that's the more research that's confusing that had to be done. Anybody like want to say something?
What about mulatto? What do you feel about mulatto?
Mulatto became from a white slave, right? A white slave mother and a black Aborigine or black Indian. Remember, these white people were on your plantations and niggas were sleeping with them. And the children.
Okay, I asked that because when I go back to my great grandmother on the census, she's a mulatto, and all her family is a mulatto. Her daddy a mulatto, all her brothers, all her sisters listed as mulatto.
No, so and that's what I'm saying. But then but you got Negro. Originally, we wasn't called Negro. That was something that was trapped. That was something that was transversed to us later on. Now, people in history that's writing this shit are classifying you as Negroes, right? But prior, a Negro was like, okay, all right. So the mulatto would have been the one that looks more identifiably white or mixed, right? But then the Negro would have been the one that looks more brown skinned. So, like I said, just because a black man have a child with a white woman, you may have children that look all different. All 3 of them, or all however many children you got, may all look different. All of them don't have to come out looking white. Some of them come out looking brown skinned. Some of them come out looking dark brown skinned. So for the dark brown skin and the dark brown skin, so-called ones that had the Slavic mother, they was called Negro. The ones that came out looking more European or more white or more fair skin was called mulattoes. Now I know, and then you got other cases where you got brown skin people who was called mulattoes. But then you got to look at it like this, right? Why you thinking that the term mulatto came because of a white man slept with a black woman? No, it was a black. It was a.
It could have been anything though. Like it could have been mixed with anything, not just so-called white man and be labeled with a mulatto.
Yeah, man. I think with anything, oh yeah, Navi, if you want to speak too, man, you can go ahead. 'Cause I was just gonna say, if anything, we gotta remember, people were moving around, and a lot of people did have the means and resources to move around. So if you was royal or if you had, wealthy assets in that area, then going to other countries and making babies, that wouldn't have been hard to do, just like today. So
Peace, you guys. I just came up here because I was timed out in the chat, and I was wondering if anybody can tell me why.
I don't know. I don't have control of the panel. It's probably one of the moderators.
Yeah, it is. Or the channel holder, from what I see on the little red thing that's sitting up here to say it.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, nah, listen, I don't know who timed you out. Personal, was you saying anything disruptive or disrespectful, like in the chat room?
Not at all. Not at all. I
Okay,
actually had walked away and came back. I'm not, because my main channel, I can't talk in the chat.
All right,
I got to
so
go to my backup.
all right, so listen, moderators and people in the chat room, like a lesser person is being directly disrespectful or whatever. I mean, I don't know how y'all blocks up, but y'all Shot Sun's still up there posting shit. So are you an American Indian or Aborigine by any chance?
I am.
Okay, so no American Indian or Aborigine, with the exception of Shot Sun and Wild Savage. Well, Shot Sun, he's an African, and Wild Savage is a Native American. With the exception to them, should never be blocked, even with the even if you don't agree with what they say. So let's try to let's try not to block people that's coming here to learn or whatever. But by any chance, what you want to say while you up here? What?
Let's pause it right here. So this is where everybody's been made known that I was blocked. Okay. I'm only speculating here. When you see things, you can't unsee them. Now, I don't have a problem with this sister. Okay. But notice how, as soon as I say it, because this is the one that's playing over here, she laughs. But here it says, Beast Mode says, uh-oh. Okay. Sachi said, who times Navi out? Free Papu, who blocked Navi? Juice, that had to be a mistake. Bellioso, I didn't see anybody time you out. I don't know. And then I Spy laughs. Okay. So here's the laugh. Free Papu, blocking Navi is crazy work. Bellioso, maybe it was a mistake because, yeah, okay. And it's not showing down here who did it. All right. And the only reason why Jackie Brown's name is mentioned in here is because somebody told me that Jackie Brown told all of us in the chat that Jackie Brown did it. And based on that little last encounter we had that I moved past, I'm apt to believe it. Was that a ploy to try to get us to go at each other? Because if you keep watching this chat, you'll see Free Papu saying that me and Jackie need to go at it. And that's where I say I don't beef and I don't block. I don't beef and I don't debate. Okay. And that I got over that bullshit. Okay. Let's continue to play it. Let's let the left one catch up.
Your family say you was from?
My great grandmother is Choctaw.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you a question, right? So, all right. So just from an Indian standpoint, right? Do you think that us as Aborigines, are we owed anything from the United States government?
That's up in the air for me, because I think we all need to be standing up doing what we need to do.
What exactly is that?
Doing for self, not falling into certain groups, if you would, because of what I see.
Yeah, we could do for self, but that doesn't make it like, all right, if we claiming that the Native Americans are not real, but they getting 5,000 and 6,000, 10,000 $5 billion from the United States government, right? Do you feel as though your people who was original inhabitants of this land? I'm not saying that you directly. See, my thing is, and I only want to say this online, and not going to them asking them. There's ways that you can file certain ordinance to get what you got, to get your money, or to get your land. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to them like, please, or we waiting around for them to do something, right? We're not waiting around for them to do something. Nothing. Once you put into their system and let them at least recognize you, because it's a reason why when you fill out applications, they have a status or ethnicity or race up there, right? It's a reason. So even for the fact that your people are American Indians, then you're not. So how you're different from the people that's on that own casinos, that's on these that own other. There's so many things that Indians own that people don't even know about. Weed dispensaries, all types of shit that people don't even fucking know about. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that we had to run around here all these years, hearing that we were slaves and hearing that we was Africans, that created some type of trauma, right?
I can agree it did.
When you say Roots, did Roots make you feel good?
No, I saw the first Roots.
Okay, and the fact that you had to sit down and watch this bullshit, that created some type of trauma, and it also in some of these Negroes, it created a psychological step.
Pause right here. I want to pause right here so y'all can see where it came in at, because y'all like receipts. Not so much anymore. Okay. I Spy. That was Jackie Brown timing you out at Navi Poet. It could have been accidental unless y'all have some sort of rivalry I don't know about. Everybody know about the damn rivalry me and her have. Okay. Okay. That's how I find out that it's Jackie Brown. So if Jackie Brown didn't do it, which I still think she did, got to look at the rumor mill. Okay. But y'all got it.
Separation that they could not get ahead because they always thought that the white man was there to stop them from getting ahead too, right?
That's what they thought.
Okay,
it's a reality for some.
Okay, it's a reality, but for the ones that it is a reality for, right? I'm playing Neo. I'm going back in the Matrix trying to snatch them out of that reality. You understand what I'm saying?
Everyone has a choice, and I choose to take mine. My people were done dirty.
Your people was done dirty. Oh, okay. Your people was done dirty, and that's not even knowing, right? Until you do the research on what your actual people went through. Now we ain't talking the surface level what your people been through. Civil rights era, dogs sticked on them, water hoses, Brown versus Board, motherfuckers spitting on you, pouring juice, all this stuff, being lynched, right? Then also that you're subjected, right? You're subjected to watch shit like Roots, 12 years a slave, and then they make that apply. They make you think that that's applied to the whole population of, we want to say, American Aborigines, or Black Americans, or FBAs, or African Americans, or Negroes or colors, right? They make us think this is your entire existence. You have no existence outside of what we're showing.
All right, I Spy, you didn't know. Okay.
That's what some believe on both sides of the aisle. I take my choice and my option. Okay.
Well, what
I'm not looking for reparations from them, and my people are on whatever lands they're on. I'm not getting ready to fight this big ass battle that people have been pushing out here. I appreciate you guys for the information, but I just don't choose to deal with it the same way that you do.
And that's cool. That's perfectly fine. And what you're saying is subjective, and what I'm saying is objective. So that's perfectly fine. You answered the question. I think we got clarity on what you're willing to do, where you stand at. And it's a lot of other Indians and Aborigines that feel that same way. I don't feel that same way.
And you're entitled to that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because the mind fuck that was done to my people is still going on. And I have to take my time and take my resources to try to, correct that. So the fact that there's a system out there that is pretty much creating your whole existence in this reality, meaning that, listen, I need some compensation for it. So if you don't want yours, I'll take yours.
You can have it.
All right,
if you can get it.
Listen, trust me, you can't get it. You can't get it. Trust me. I promise you this. I promise you this 5,000%. You can't get it. You can't get it. You understand? But everybody's not worthy of this information to give to them. That's
why we've been doing this for a while.
So
we still trying to get to the same place that we ain't got to yet. But I appreciate the information. You guys have shown me a lot, and I do my own research, a little off the beaten trail of the way people want to push certain things. And I know that the whole Jim Crow era, the Black Civil Rights Board versus Brown versus the Board of Education, I recognize the bullshit. I actually recognize the bullshit from theater and literature and all that other stuff. So I'm more about my mind, and that's everybody's individual choice.
Oh, okay, no problem. Hey, Cosmic Cow, I don't fuck with bitch.
All right, so what you see here, if you were looking at the channel, you can see both sides of that. Okay, B said it was well stated, well received, because The last time I was up there with A1, he asked me a question, and I didn't feel like I don't feel like being led around by my nose, and we ended up getting into an argument. Matter of fact, that was the first day that I worked for the last company that I had worked for after I came off my cruise. The other day, I said that one of my mistakes was that the information that was on Smoke's channel when I came up there to support what Sister Bethy was saying, when me, Root, and Jackie Brown got into it and all of that. Um, my mistake was actually going off because people like to trigger you, and we get triggered easily. And governing your mental, other people want to govern your mental. Hence, A1 saying that's subjective, but I'm talking objective. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Um, people want to govern your mental. He wants to take. He'll take mine, but then tells me I can get it. I tell him you can have it if you can get it. I can get it. Okay. This is the game that's being played that I see, which says I need to move. Okay. Um, but this is what happened today, and what you didn't know, what you couldn't see in here, because I'm not on the other channel. It does my backup channel doesn't even show up in the midst of this, where I was actually telling people certain things about me being timed out. It's not even in there. So is that YouTube? Is that Google? Is that somebody that has access to my backup channel as well? Because it wasn't in there. Somewhere in here, Bellioso is going to say that he didn't see me being timed out. Okay. Because he still saw me. He saw my backup channel. He didn't see my main channel. I'm not turning into a troll for trolls. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to beef for entertainment because it takes away from us as a people. Y'all can do it, and I'm not going to be led around by questionable leaders with questionable agendas. Okay? I Spy said she already said that it was Jackie Brown. Now that's on my right side, the white side here. Y'all should have been able to see me text in the chat, but you haven't seen me text anything in the chat on my backup channel. It's just the letter N. So if you see the letter N pop up, you would see it, but you don't see it. Who has those controls? Okay. What battle are we really fighting? Is it the fight with the Jews who control media, or is it something else? Is it the Moors? Is it the Indians? Is this who exactly is it? Okay. Now somewhere in here they say cut it out, Jackie. I Spy said cut it out because she doing something. Let's find out what she was doing. Let's find out what she was doing. Let's pause the white screen. And I can't see y'all, so it is what it is. Okay. Or I can't see y'all on StreamYard. So let's roll this one.
Bitch ass niggas like But then again, I can't even say that. I'm not even going to disrespect WhatsApp because me and WhatsApp has been alright or whatever. So I'm not even going to disrespect. So I apologize for saying that. But I know deep down inside that this shit ain't. It's always going to be what it is. Some people you just gotta just let them be who they are. But on another note, my brother Jaguar, do you think your people is owed anything?
Of course, as far as just with our monetary system, or what we had as far as the silver certificates, and the value of the money that was originally valued, even how they transfer to rape you up to now, taxing more, giving you all these extra expenses on why you shouldn't receive what you should have got back in the day that they took, which is the gold, you know what I'm saying, and the silver to hold in these banks and stuff like that. I mean, to me though, as far as just with the genealogy thing, man, I mean, it's nothing wrong. I mean, if you really have a big family, you probably do have family all over the planet if y'all really moving like that. So, I mean, it don't negate who you are and where where you're at, or what I'm saying, you knowing who your relative people around you is today. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see what the major fuss is about, really. Uh, just clarifying that you have other ethnicities in your lineage. I mean, that's a good thing, but it's nothing wrong with acknowledging your main line that's in you and upholding it, because we ain't being upheld. We're being labeled black. I mean, to the point where Shy Apples made a good point. Black European, according to them in their terminology, black meant pale. So it's just depending on how you looking at, the levels of it, man. It's really, I mean, it's a good discussion, but it's more so it's gonna get personal because everybody don't have the same situation. So you can't expect everybody to just really be on the same vibration with all that. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Now, as far as like having, like I say, royal families and people that can move around and navigate from country to country, continent to continent, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's that's been going on for thousands of years, and that's why it seems strange because everybody seems to want to base their knowledge on a primitive standpoint, not recognizing that people have been navigating this whole planet for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? So it's just what you can take and put with it.
I'm
And you
off
got
the
the right word.
panel.
You got
I'm
the
not
right
on the
word,
panel
self-identify,
anymore.
right?
That's right.
But even with the self-identifications, right? I have seen people, right, who only can show me their European ancestry. They can't even show me people who directly is a tauntaun to America. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen people who only can access their European leads, right? Right? But they still say they're Indian or Aboriginals.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? They still say they and I thought the whole purpose of even when you do your genealogy is for you to access your lineage so that you can claim what you were. The thing of the genealogy has only became a discussion of people trying to tie themselves back to here. You understand what I'm saying? And in that process, you're finding out you have family in other places. You understand what I'm saying? So the whole purpose of it, right? When I first did it, when I first learned about it in 2008 or around 2008, when I first learned about it, right? The purpose of it was to connect me back to my original people because we was being falsely classified as these social constructs, right? So for me to do it, it was primarily for me to base myself in America. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't for me to base myself, even though along the journey you're gonna find certain people gonna find. I haven't found no black Iberians or no copper color Iberians or copper color Europeans in my family. You understand what I'm saying? But I've seen other people. So don't get it fucked up. I've looked at people's genealogy. I can do genealogy. I just, like I said, I'm not getting caught up. I haven't finished my shit. So how do I have time? I don't have time to do yours. I'm still trying to find mine. I'm trying to go back as far as I can with my people. So I don't have time. You understand what I'm saying? If my shit ain't complete, then I got time to help you. You know, I can show you and lead you, and then you're gonna have to do your due diligence and do the hard footwork of going to some of these places, going to some of the Hall of Records, going to some of these grave sites. And I'll tell you this too: a lot of grave sites that people originally had, like my father's family had a huge grave site in between Florida and Georgia. That shit going, bro. That shit going. You understand what? It's going. They done built over it, nigga. Then this gets all into the poltergeist thing and all this other shit. You remember poltergeist, right? What was poltergeist about, right? They built something, or it's kind of like the allegory of what's the fucking land off the Sea Islands, Jekyll's Island, right? Poltergeist is something that's really kind of based off of what they did with Jekyll Island, how they built buildings on top of these Timucuan and Yamasee and Gawler grave sites, right? And some of their traditional land that's traditional.
A lot of these colleges and schools and stuff.
Exactly, and they harvesting the energy from that. They harvesting the energy from that. That's when, like, even when you really get into the author of the dude who wrote Poltergeist or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even though it was something that was about upstate, but then it also kind of go back into the Negro burial grounds, which is not even the Negro burial grounds. It's really the Mahata, or Ranapi, like Mahata, Ranapi, or Seneca, right? The people who was on.
Okay, what's going on the panel isn't important. Let me check on y'all real quick. I don't know what y'all doing over here. All right. Okay. Hey DJ. Ooh. All right. So I'm going back over there. Okay. Just to show it. Okay. So Nami says, Jackie, what's going on with you and Navi? I thought everybody knew what was going on with me and Jackie. Okay. Especially Nami. Okay, because she's around here a lot. You know. Anyway, other things there, but where's the other one? Okay. I Spy says, cut it out, Jackie. Juice says, Jackie, you gotta chill, sister. Okay. Go back up here. Okay, so you see where we are. Cut it out. Who is that said that about keep the personal things out of the build? This is why y'all shit fail. You can't force anyone to agree and think the same way you think. Okay? And do the same thing. This ain't about mimicking nobody, and that's what got us into trouble before. Fucking hive-minded ass motherfuckers. Shout out to Kugler for showing us the hive mind. Okay, let's go down a little bit further. All right. Somebody said they support me, and that's cool, but be careful. It's the same thing with other channels and other places and at other times. Um, if I see you talking to so and so, I'm gonna block you. Potawatomi is having the same problem, being attacked in the chat. And it's funny because out of all the people that's in the chat over here, I haven't met any of you. The people I've met face to face aren't even in here. Okay? But again, there's a reason why people will leave this community. But y'all got it. Y'all got it. I hope y'all get everything that y'all need. All right. Let's play a little bit more. Let's play the one on the right. See if we can get it to catch up. Okay, we'll do this one over here.
I'm still trying to find mine. I'm trying to go back as far as I can with my people. So I don't have time. You understand what I'm saying? If my shit ain't complete, then I got time to help you. You know, I can show you and lead you, and then you're gonna have to do your due diligence and do the hard footwork of going to some of these places, going to some of the Hall of Records, going to some of these grave sites. And I'll tell you this too: a lot of grave sites that people originally had, like my father's family had a huge grave site in between Florida and Georgia. That shit going, bro. Into that theory, how they built over a lot of these grave sites that your people traditionally had on their land. The more ancient burials are these mounds that was on people's land. But these mounds go back thousands of years. These mounds are not nothing that was created the last 500 years. A lot of these mounds are ancient. They go back millenniums. But recently, you know, within the last 2 millenniums or maybe last 3 millenniums, we started to bury our dead on the land. And a lot of this land has been covered. It has been flooded. You know what I'm saying? It has been rebuilt over. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it makes it hard for a lot of people to be able to, go back to a certain timeline. You know what I'm saying, to find their ancestry. But as long as, my thing is, as long as you can go back at least to the 1800s or the late 1700s, then you are in good hands. You know what I'm saying? You're in good hands. You know what I'm saying? And seeing a lot of these records and seeing what people was classified as, or where people was even living at. Because where you was living at also played a part into you finding out who your people were too.
That's right. And a lot of people still remain private, so their records wouldn't be in the public anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the major landowners and wealthy people, they stay private. You don't even see their names on the records nowhere.
Yep.
So that's why this online stuff can get confusing, because you got people placing in data, people just typing in names, and then you forgetting that people came over here and adopted names, and people stole names, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of that going on in the 1800s. That's why they call it the Reconstruction era.
And you got white people, you got Slavs or slaves that had your last name or the name of the plantation.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? You got slaves that had the name of the plantation. And then people there, they confuse us so much to make you think you're the slaves and you're not even the direct descendants of the plantation owner. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times they whitewashing the plantation owner, making you think an Aboriginal person is a white person, and then that puts you under his subject, and you automatically falsely denominating yourself as being a slave. So it's a lot of trickery. This shit ain't just some straightforward thing. There's a lot of trickery. There's a lot of reconsideration that you have to put in before you can solidify and say that my actual records are actual facts.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And then they label a lot of our people slaves based on us having trust, or a format of on a government that held the records of their own family. You know what I'm saying? And so they took that and would label it, oh, well, this person had this many slaves, when the whole time it was just him categorizing a lot of people that was in his family.
Yep.
Yeah, them cases too.
And what did we see with the terminology of the definition of family? Scourging.
That's right.
So that's what I'm trying to say. But you see, people, they're so fixated on, oh no, that's not true. I don't want it to be true. But we only can go by the words you use. They come from somebody who defined them. So if we go back and look at the definition of this shit, then the definition is what tells the story that you're trying to tell by using the actual terminology of it.
Yep.
Well, we got some other brothers on the panel. What's up?
All right, family. All right, so you guys see what's going on here, okay? Somebody said that they call one sister K-UNT. I didn't see that in the chat. But that person got timed out as well. I didn't see it in either one of the chats because I was watching the thing at the time. But at this point, I walk away from the screen. Somebody in here, I walk away again, and I think it's playing around here, but I'm not listening to it. I did something else at that time. But someone said, "You should be good now, Navi." I was not. And you never saw me respond. You didn't see me respond with my main avatar, and you didn't see me respond with my backup avatar. Again, you got it. Stay the fuck away from me. Okay? So yeah, I gotta move. Okay? Um yeah, I'm gonna do the stuff that I need to do because I got enough books. I can't whatever other people have read, only way it's gonna benefit me if they can actually articulate it well enough and present it in the format that the teachers on YouTube used to present it. They don't present it in that form anymore. Okay? Which has opened the door for all this other bullshit that's going on. All right. Um, but I just wanted some of you guys to see that when y'all don't see me around here, when you find out that you've been blocked, okay, when it sounds like I don't trust you for whatever reasons, or I'm short with you, or we just can't get together and I got some attitude, understand where it comes from. Because in this, nobody rectified that situation. It was a personal thing that happened, and this is what causes your community to fail. Please stay away from my channel. Please stay away from me, okay? Some of you messy motherfuckers, please stay the fuck away from me. Again, I just wanted you guys to see this for yourself since it was still up here, as opposed to Smoke's channel where it all started at, lasting for 18 hours and no one being able to see what it was. You know, when I think about it, I think, and I'm just going to tell you what I think. Since you don't like what I say over here, you want to push me to other places. Let me give you an example. How many people run around here and say that I'm an Eastern Star, that I'm a Moabite, and they remember me over there on, I can't even remember whose channel, but over there with the HOTC crew. I'm not welcome over there either. Individually, cool. Some people still rock with me. As a collective, y'all got me fucked up. And I'm not the only one because I just happen to be one person that's speaking that's not bullied by the shit. There are people who are listening that see what y'all do and see how y'all do it. And that's all I wanted them to see was how you do the shit. But you want to judge a thing, you want to go to law, okay? You want the government to give you something. What for? For being stupid? Backwards? Having an inability to judge? Being in your feelings and wanting to trigger people? Stealing information and acting like it was yours? Or that you got the most longevity, so you should be the authority? Like nobody else can have any opportunity to figure it out, and you wonder why you got trolls around here trolling y'all on a regular basis and you got animosity around here? I'm sorry. I'm just an older woman that's been through the bullshit. But that's what y'all want. Hope you get everything that you need. Okay? But I'll be over here. Yeah. I'll be over here on my channel doing my shit. And if y'all want to come over, y'all want to invite some people over, y'all see me up, feel free. Okay? You know, it's going to take me a minute to move away from Smoke Signals because I like what he does. And matter of fact, y'all know why I go over on Smoke Signals channel? Because of Smoke Signal. Because I remember when he didn't have a channel. And I like the way that he breaks things down or tries to um, open things up. I don't agree with him all the time, but I can deal with him, and that's one of the reasons why I'm over there. Thank you. I appreciate you for just adding me. Okay. I'm not over there for anybody else. I'm not over there to get your man. I'm not over there to get your woman. I'm not over there to get your money. I'm just here for the information, trying to figure it out. And if you got good information, good dialect or discourse, I'm there. But it's too much bullshit going on, no matter how you make it sound. And mind you, this post that had this happen in, I wasn't even there in the beginning. I was handling some business over here, some financial matters over here. So wherever that stream had been for 2 hours and whatever, I had no idea what it is because people come in and out all day long when these streams come on. Okay. But y'all think that people just sit there and got all day to sit there sometimes. I do other shit around here while I'm listening to it. But I don't have a job to go to right now, so I can sit and text and type and all this other shit. But I wasn't there for the beginning to know if I violated some law about the conversation that was going on. Y'all got some bullshit going on, and y'all won't fix it. For 2 years, y'all been playing with y'all Pan-African food. It ain't that much stupid in the world that people don't see that shit for the reason that you're still playing with it. But if people want to be duped by it, you continue to be duped by it. I ain't got time. I got to go clean house again. Okay? Just like I threw out a bunch of Christian books, I got to throw out a bunch of conversations and ideologies and connections that really aren't connections because people are up here with an agenda. So, family, I'm going to roll on out. Okay, I still got some. Thank you, DJ. I got some business that I got to handle because I'm almost ready to hit the road. Almost ready to hit the road, y'all. And that doesn't come because you challenged the jurisdiction of and authenticated the fucking birth certificates because you put some money behind what the fuck you were talking about. DJ, don't tell them to get no act right. They ain't gonna get no act right. They can't even judge their own people. And let me just say this while I'm thinking about this. People would get up on these panels and talk about how men should check men and women should check women. Like we can't talk to each other, okay? But it depends on who you are, for one, okay? But I find it real interesting that you want women to check women, but you won't check the men. You let them keep coming back doing the same shit over and over again. And you won't stop that from happening. Because it's all about you. It ain't about your audience. It ain't about the people who will listen to this in the future. I don't know. Maybe the whole channel will get taken down again. And I'm just talking in general. Maybe the whole channel will get taken down again. And then you can start over and nobody will know the history. Okay? But you want women to check women. There's a reason why I don't check women. One, I know what they've been through. I know what we've been through. And two, I know how messy we can be. And I'm not going to do it for you. Because technically, if you're a man and you do it right, you can talk to these sisters and you ain't got to play the religious game that you play or the sexist game that you play. There's a bunch of women in that chat that knew that what happened in that chat was wrong. How many held her accountable to it? to the point that it stops? How many will hold her accountable for it? Probably none. So you want the sisters to get together and do stuff? No, you want them sisters to get together and do stuff. And if that's the case, then y'all should have already had y'all women's debate. Because y'all friends like the brothers are friends. But y'all want a haze and y'all need a body, and I'm not giving you one. I ain't Jesus. I ain't his sister. And what's the other one? It was something else I was thinking right there. I'm not food for you. I'm not a sacrifice for you. I'm not trying to get into your organization, secret societies. I can read a book for that. And then I don't have to jump through hoops and defend degrees or diplomas. One and the same. I love the word autodidactic. Even though me and Didact didn't get along. Thank the brother for showing up in my life. But sometimes, just for the sake of the argument, sometimes people are only in your life for a season. And y'all season just ended. Hope you get everything you need. Hope you get everything you deserve. Family, I'm out of here.